and welcome to my hurricane forecast on Tropical Storm Elsa. Yes, it downgraded to Tropical Storm Elsa yesterday, and right now it's currently a tropical storm, and as you can see, it's affecting Jamaica and southern Haiti. Now you can see tropical storm conditions are up for Haiti, southern Haiti, and Jamaica as um those tropical storms conditions will be expected in those areas. Right now, I think it's currently affecting Jamaica and southern Haiti. As you can see here, you can see that the tropical storm force winds are in that general area, and it is associated with Haiti. Now, you can see at this time right now, it's about at my time it's 12:58, which is in the morning, and it's currently affecting that area and Jamaica, which means that this would be passing over. I would say it would be passing over Jamaica tonight, and it would be getting in Cuba by the time 8 a.m. on Monday, which means that this would be moving at, I would say, 20 to 30 mile per hour. And you can see it is expected to get up to Florida, and if you notice, the track shifted more to the west than how it was previously, and the impacts will be felt in Florida at least by the time we get around 8 p.m. in the night on Tuesday around western Florida. So if you live in western Florida, you would need to watch this, as this would be heading towards your area. And also if you live in Georgia on 8 p.m., which is in the night on Wednesday, this would be passing around Georgia and South Carolina, and it would remain a tropical storm throughout that time. And if you live in those areas, I would like for you to be prepared for this storm, as it would be passing through your area at a very fast speed. Now, we know that fast moving storms tend to produce heavier winds, higher winds, which means that this could be passing generally fast and may bring down some trees if you live in Jamaica and South Carolina and Georgia and Florida. So you would need to pay close attention to the forecast, as this storm would be moving through your area on 8 p.m. on Tuesday in Florida, and right now it's currently affecting Jamaica and southern Haiti. So this is not expected to go towards Louisiana, near Mississippi, near Alabama, but rather Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and potentially New York City may be in its track, as it would be passing from across South Carolina and going heads towards New York City. So you would need to watch this very closely, and currently there's tropical storm watches up for um the Florida Keys, just in that area, and in western Cuba, and there's not hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings in Jamaica and southern Haiti, which means that this those tropical storm conditions are expected. So if you guys, you will need to keep closely monitoring this storm, as it would be through your area when we get late into Sunday going into Monday morning, if you live in Cuba. So this would be moving, I would say it was moving north westward towards Florida right now. You could see the track is expected for this to continue moving on this northwestern path and taking this northeastern path as it heads towards New York City and South Carolina, Georgia. So guys, if you live in those areas, I would like for you to pay attention to this, as it would be headed towards Florida and Georgia and South Carolina. But the intensity of this storm remains uncertain because of how it's going to interact with land when it reaches Cuba and Jamaica, when it interacts with Cuba and Jamaica. So that is to be determined as we get later into the future. So you would like to pay close attention to the new updates that the National Hurricane Center advisories issue. So let's look at the current satellite image on tropical storm Elsa, and we're going to get more data as the National Hurricane Center is currently flying into the storm to get more data on it to see how strong it is and where it would more or less head when it's headed towards Florida and how strong it's going to be. Now guys, this is the satellite image on tropical storm Elsa, and as you can see, those cloud tops are really building up in on the southwestern side of it, and you can see there's this inflow in the storm of the moisture trying to wrap into its center of circulation and get this storm going. So that is just telling me that if there's high cloud tops building, then they may possibly be tropical storm force winds in those areas, and there may be strengthening happening with this storm as it's moving towards Jamaica and Cuba. So this storm is rather intensifying and gaining its strength currently. But I would say if you live in the Les Keys, then you are currently getting affected by this, and if you live on eastern Jamaica, then you would be currently getting affected by this, and if you live on southwestern Jamaica, then you would be getting affected by the bands that the storm is currently releasing, and you would need to watch those rain bands as they may produce gusty winds and heavy rains and potentially flash flooding. So you would need to not also consider that you should not be on the road while the storm is passing through, and you should be in a house already prepared for it, although it's not going to do much damage. As you can see, it turned into an unexpected tropical storm when it unexpected hurricane when it reached along just in the Lesser Antilles, and you would need to watch the storm because it's a very tricky storm. And guys, if you live in Haiti, yeah, I know you are feeling the effects of this, and the Dominican Republic and Kingston, Jamaica. Now the storm will be headed towards Florida when it gets as we get into Monday, and we're going to look at the models on this. The one of the models that we're going to look at is the ECMWF and the GFS, because I have noticed that the GFS is doing pretty well when it comes to intensity and where the storm is headed. So we're going to look at the GFS model, and we're going to be forecasting another potential tropical wave that's headed off the coast of Africa and may have a chance of development. So let's get into the more details on tropical storm Elsa. Now guys, as you can see here, you can see this is the GFS model, and you can see at this point it's at 1006 millibar, which is not really right on this. It's at 1003 millibar, and you can see it has this tropical storm shape with it. So let's look on the forecast for this and what the GFS model has to say. Now at this point now I could see that there's very heavy rains falling on northwestern Cuba, and the rain is headed into south Florida, and this may potentially lead to some flash flooding as it is headed towards Florida. Now you can see, let's go on with the forecast and the GFS model. On the GFS model now, as you can see, it seems to be intensifying at this point. You could see the low level spin is somewhat placed in that area, and most of the thunderstorms are focused on the eastern side of it, as it's currently moving northeastward towards South Carolina and Georgia. So let's go farther out into the future with this tropical storm. Now as you can see, it makes landfall, heavy rains on north just north of Florida in that general areas you could see there, and at this point I would expect to see tropical storm force winds and maybe some flash flooding. So let's go further out into the future with the GFS model to see what it has coming with the storm into the future. Now, as you can see, it moves just off coast of South Carolina, and as we get about 144 hours out, and you can see it just gets over with the storm very quickly as it moves west towards northeastern eastward. So the GFS does not have much on the storm while it's making landfall, except that it's going to remain a tropical storm throughout the track of it. And as I said, we're not really clear on the intensity on this, as it would be headed towards Florida because of the land interaction with Cuba. So if you really like this forecast, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and share this video to get the message out on Tropical Storm Elsa. And sorry for not uploading any videos today and late yesterday as you would expect me to. And thank you for watching this forecast. I would be issuing more forecasts on it. My next forecast is just generally going to be the satellite image on it and how I expect it to impact the Jamaica and Haiti and Cuba. So thank you for watching this forecast once again. Thank you for 86 subscribers. Continue to grow my channel, and good night.